Fuck. I can't.
What if he ordered a fuck?
I was trying to think of something the monkey said, and then I just like drew a blank, and I'm like, damn it.
Steve!
There we go. Steve. There we go. Got it. Nailed the intro. Hey, welcome to...
Nailed it.
Welcome to the show, everybody. I am Troy to the Max Extreme.
I am JD3K.
And we are doing a little mini-series here on seeing what the little one would like.
Yes.
Entitled Operation No Baby.
Yes.
Where
we're already... Well, we've already defeated Boss Baby because she's not watching it anymore.
Right. That happened right as we were trying to plan this whole thing.
Yeah.
Still as a name.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Now it's just... Let's try and establish good watching for Macy the Max.
That's right. Macy the Max needs something else to watch, and we're the ones to choose that.
Yes.
For show. Your choice last week that you bestowed upon me, JT, was Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs.
Yes. Coming fresh off of our review of a Lego Movie, which is also a Lord and Miller
when I
creation.
Saw the opening credits to this, I was like, well, look at him. Did he plan that?
In honesty, I knew it, but then I was like, oh shit, yeah.
I totally did not remember that at all. That this was a Lord and Miller joint.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, look at this.
This is like their first big hit, I think, was this.
I could see that. I could see that.
Good
job for them doing a movie. It dropped in our lap September 18th, 2009.
Whoa.
Put near a year and a half ago. Year and a half. 10 and a half years ago.
Jesus.
Jesus Christ. It had a budget of $100 million.
Jesus.
I know. I was actually really
God damn it.
shocked to see that.
It's like, oh my God. Just hearing that was giving me heartburn.
Yeah, I mean, Lego Movie was $60 million.
Yeah, like, Jesus.
I know. Sony came out with this, so they just like to throw money.
Yeah, Sony's just like, take it all. Take it all.
It had a domestic box office of $124 million and a worldwide gross of $243 million. So
it was a hit. No, not a hit, but like it pretty good. Pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
When you add in like marketing costs to that, it didn't make a ton of money.
Yeah, about even.
It did. I would assume it made the positive.
Yeah. You can see how they got less money for Lego Movie.
Yes, but Lego Movie was Warner Brothers.
Yeah, but I'm sure
Warner
Brothers.
Miller.
Yeah,
You're talking about.
Yeah. How Lord and Miller. Yeah, they were like, okay, like Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs came out even. We're not gonna go as far as Sony did.
Mm-hmm.
but we think you got some here.
This did warrant a sequel. It did get a sequel.
It did. I'm actually curious to see the sequel because I heard the sequel's kind of weird.
I've never seen it.
Like it's like, I think like the food like becomes like sentient.
Well, no spoilers, but it we'll get to it.
Yeah.
Rotten Tomatoes has this movie at 86%.
Good. Okay.
IMDb has it at a 7 out of 10, and Common Sense Media, the family-friendly review site, has it at a 3 out of 5.
Okay.
Now, JT, if you don't mind, I will take the reins on this.
Go ahead. Well, usually you get the Monday shows.
It's just how it works here.
It is.
Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs follows
Flint Lockwood.
Flint Lockwood. And he is a super stunted scientist who he has a bunch of crazy inventions. And one invention is to create water into food.
Yeah.
Because they live on a secluded island under the Atlantic on a map. Which I thought was a really funny joke.
That is pretty good.
That, like, kind of I got swept under the rug, and I was like, that is really funny. And all they have to eat is sardines.
Yeah.
And after the sardine market crashes, That's all they have left to eat. So he tries to find a way for they come to eat anything else and comes up with this invention. And it not only works, but maybe works a little too well.
Yeah.
And there you have Cloudy with a chance of meatball.
Meet the ball.
I'm going to say it like that every time for no reason.
Now, are you gonna save the Macy reaction for the last thing on the show?
I think I will.
Okay, we'll do our review, and then that'll be what'll keep people listening.
Yes,
is to find out.
Yes,
did it?
Got you on the hook.
Yeah.
What did the baby think? Because that's really all that matters in this review.
Our review is moot.
Right. Because
we're literally wasting time.
If we,
giving our review,
we could give it like a worst grade ever. Yeah. That doesn't mean that if she ended up liking it, I might end up watching this forever into infinity.
You're gonna end up watching this until she's 13.
So anyway, right off the bat, I was actually surprised to see that it was a Lord Miller movie.
Yes,
but going into it then, because I haven't seen this in quite a long time.
Yeah,
I ended up going in with a little more optimism than what I think originally would have. I mean, I remember watching this, I don't know, when it first came out on DVD.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
And then now later on, now that I'm paying more attention to like movie news and stuff like that and creators out there, I saw the Lord Miller name. I'm like, oh, okay. Going into this, I'm going into it with a little higher optimism.
Yep.
See where it's gonna go.
Impress me, Lord and Miller.
You have me on the hook, Lord and Miller. And even with like the funny little joke when they're explaining I can't remember what the island, Swallow Falls.
Yeah.
That was like on the map. It's like under the A in Atlantic. I was like, okay, it's coming up with little clever things like that.
Yeah.
But
that's
about as clever a comedy as it gets, I think. Not to discount the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
But there's nothing as clever as a joke, I don't think, in the rest of the movie as the little opening.
Yeah, well, I don't take it as like super witty.
No.
Like it's definitely more geared towards kids.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't think they have a lot to play with in terms of like when it comes like Lego Movie, like they have like a lot of like pop culture they can play off of.
Yeah.
And this they're like building like a completely brand new world and environment and story. But I think it still finds a way to stay fun as it goes on.
Yes, I would agree. This is based off a book written by Judy Barrett.
Yeah.
That I had as a kid,
and
I really enjoyed it, but it has nothing to do with this movie besides the premise. Like in the book, it's just like, oh yeah, it rained spaghetti.
Yep, pretty much.
It's like, isn't that weird?
Yeah.
But like they don't have like the scientist in it. It doesn't have like a mechanical thing in the sky that shoots down hamburgers or whatever. So anyway, that's a thing. I also wasn't really in love with the animation's not really I guess the character design or the world design in this.
Yeah.
Everyone's kind of like flappy and it's got like big sausagey fingers.
Yeah.
Like I ended up falling into it more or less.
Yeah.
But I just wasn't really in love with the design of things. That doesn't mean I didn't like the voice acting in this, because I really liked
Bill
Hader as the main character.
Yeah.
Anna Faris was good in it. Mr. T was amazing as the cop.
I think Mr. T is my favorite character in this.
His character is the only one that I have a specific character note about. Mr. T Cop was great.
Well, when we start going more into the characters, I'll talk more about them. But yeah, every time he came on, I was in love with it so much.
Mm-hmm. And this movie also opened up very similarly to a pretty well-received Marvel movie that came out a couple of years ago. It did like the Thor Ragnarok thing before Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah.
Like, it had the cool, like, kind of 80s font.
Yeah.
And then, like, it had, like, kind of, like, cool techno music.
Yeah.
To, like, the opening of this movie.
This score is, like, super epic. And it doesn't,
yeah.
it feels like it doesn't need to be, but they're like, they'll have, like, scenes where, like, bum, bum, ba-da, bum, 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 where you're like, oh my God. He's literally just standing here. They'll have like this like fucking like crazy epic score that goes throughout.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it builds up to like a pretty epic ending to this. But like I was like, man, they're doing Thor Ragnarok before Thor Ragnarok was cool.
Yeah,
I was like, good for them.
Oh yeah, I feel like they definitely know. Like, if we're gonna get kids, we need to use a fuck ton of colors. Like, anytime they can use like rainbow colors, they go full bore into it.
Whole hog.
Even when it makes no sense, where it's like, oh, the machine shoots out every color imaginable when it's working.
Yeah.
It's like, does it need to do that? No, it doesn't. But we're gonna make it.
Yeah.
Especially like when like in contrast to when they like show the sardines, like. Like, every time they show a sardine in this, it looks like the grossest thing imaginable.
Oh yeah.
It looks like it's like made of snot.
Yeah, like, especially when that guy just pops and squirts one into his mouth.
God.
That like made me just literally like not feel good. I'm like, God damn.
Yeah, everything sardine in this is gross.
It's sickening. And I when they were going over Flint Lockwood's previous inventions in this, because he gets kind of like a little montage. It's like, I made this like spray on shoes and this and this and this.
Yeah.
And he's like, I also created rat birds.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, I'm a big fan of rat birds in this movie.
Dude, everything that he invents like always like is like in the background in some form. Like, there's just like scenes where like the walking television will be in the background for no reason. Like the walking television and the rat birds are there constantly. There's even like a scene when when the food starts raining and people are looting, some dude breaks the window and steals a TV, and the TV breaks the window and steals a person.
Oh, that's good. I really like kind of like the throwaway line is like, I also created these rat birds. They got way out of control and bred very quickly. It became a very big problem. I really like that a lot. What I thought was weird about the main character Flint Lockwood is that like, not so much when he was a kid, because he's like this like genius of a kid or whatever, and he goes to show and tell, and he's like, I made these spray-on shoes. And then one dope is like, how do you take them off, nerd? And then he's like, oh,
baby Brent.
Yeah. He's like, oh, no, I can't. And then like but like even then when he gets into an adult,
those shoes are stuck.
Those shoes are stuck on him. But like not only that, but like he's also stuck in like that weird childlike mentality as an adult.
Yeah.
And like that kind of like threw me off on this rewatch. I'm like, you never really grew up, did you? You didn't leave your parents' house. You still like live in a tree house at your parents' house. Like, you're really stunted, because he even like goes around and like makes sound effects when he like walks around. I'm like,
yeah, like
what's wrong with you?
Yeah, like he even like he like invented like this pretty elaborate elevator to get up to his treehouse, but then he still has like curtains where he's like boop 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 boop, and then he pulls the curtain where it's like, well, you don't. The elevator was cool enough. You don't need to like pretend you're doing like a palm scan for a curtain for you to like pull a curtain back and stuff. Where it's like, yeah, like I feel like there's definitely like a part of him where he's like
a bit stunted.
Yeah,
he's a genius, but he just can't get past like, oh, I'm gonna press the Simon Says and get out of the secret entrance. Like that's it's weird. I do enjoy the turning of, I can't remember her name in the movie. Anna Faris's character in this.
Something Sparks.
Yeah, it's like
Susie,
it's alliterative.
not
Susie.
Yeah, maybe
it's some alliterative
Sparks. Yeah.
But anyway, I like that she is like a good balance to Flint Lockwood, where she's pretty much the same character, but kind of like apprehensive to show how nerdy she is.
Yeah.
Whereas like he's like super nerdy and like all about it.
Yeah.
I really like that that playback, and I really like their feedback with one another. That was really fun. I also loved he's not Baby Huey. What's his name?
Oh, God damn it. Baby Brent.
Baby Brent, yeah. I liked him quite anytime he showed up in this movie, and he's just like, oh, and I'm like, you are a gross adult in a diaper. Like,
but no, it's like, because it's like a super small island, they treat it like a small town too, where it's like, Baby Brent is like the quarterback that still lives back to the good old days. But like his peak was like 2.
And so he just holds on to that odd like mascot he was, just like in a diaper that dumped over a bucket of fish. It's like, God.
There's cause Lord and Miller do that shit where like people talk in the background, and sometimes the people that talk in the background are just as hilarious as the movie. Where like there's a scene where Baby Brent goes into the sardine shop that Tim and his dad have, and just Baby Brent just acts like a total fucking dick, and like topples a fucking like display and just treats everyone like shit, and he leaves, and there's like these 2 old guys in the corner, and one of them's like, "What a great guy."
There's also a side character in this. I don't think it's ever named, but it's like, I'm just going to say guy with beard.
Yeah.
He's all over this movie.
Yeah.
Like, he loves everything. He's always there to, like, just catch something. And it's, like, the same white dude, like, in a hat with a beard. And it's like, he's all over this more than I ever could remember from a previous watch.
You're like Sam Sparks' cameraman, where like just out of nowhere in the last 30 minutes of this, he's like this fucking Casanova that knows how to do everything. And, like he's so quiet throughout, then he's like, I can do that. He's just like, he like pilots a flying car.
Right.
Like, he doesn't even know what a flying car is, and he just pilots it perfectly.
Yeah. It's like, is anyone here a doctor?
I am a doctor.
I am a doctor. What? It's like, I had to escape. I did this for an escape.
Yeah.
To be a cameraman and don't talk.
I am also a biochemist.
Oh my. The visuals in this, other than like, I guess like the character design, I thought are really pretty stellar.
Yeah.
Like I liked all the food raining down from the sky. I thought
all
they
the food
pretty
visuals
awesome.
are really cool.
Even like, especially like the spaghetti tornado.
Oh yeah,
that was going on.
Yeah,
that was
when like
pretty
food
sweet.
starts getting bigger, like it looks really cool.
Mm-hmm. Not to jump to the very end, but it like when it gets to the point where they see what's going on in the sky, it's got like a creepy kind of alien vibe.
Yeah,
with like the weird leathery egg kind of deal that like swallows all the food and like spits it down into the ground or whatever. I'm like, this is like verging into like creepy kind of like alien territory.
Yeah. The machine itself, the Flipstermer,
yeah,
it's so odd where it's like the way it like shoots out food. It's like it kind of looks like it has an anus. Like it's like
yes,
it's
got a little butthole on it.
Yeah, you're like, I look like it. I feel like I'm watching a machine take a shit, and the shit is food.
It's shitting the wrong way.
Yeah, but it's like it doesn't have butt cheeks, so you're like you're actually watching
like a sphincter.
Yeah, like a sphincter like have like food exit its anus.
Yeah, it's great. That whole description was amazing.
It's like it's so it's odd. It's like I feel like I'm watching something graphic, but it's really not graphic.
No,
I'm just like making it something that it's not.
The Mr. Teacup, I just want to talk about him for a little bit. He is like the highlight of probably this entire movie. I always
remember what his name is, like Gus or something.
I don't remember. I look forward to any time he was on screen.
Earl Devereaux.
he is an absolute delight.
Yeah, Earl has 2 different modes, and it is yelling at Flint Lockwood by his full name, and talking about how much he loves his son Cal.
Yeah. Which I love both equally.
Yeah. Flint Lockwood, I love my son Cal so much.
I love you, son.
Yeah. Oh, Cal, I love you so much. It's always about how much he loves his son and how much he hates Flint Lockwood. Those are his two modes. Curse you, Flint Lockwood! I hate you as much as I love my son Cal. That's like pretty much, that's him to a T.
Yeah, but it's like, as flat of a character as that sounds, anytime he's on screen, he just is magnetic. It's just like, you just want to watch whatever he's doing.
Yeah. And he's always doing like backflips and handsprings into things.
Yeah. He never wears a pair of pants in this. He always just has gym shorts on.
Yeah. And then there's like Flint Lockwood's trying to get him to get him distracted so he can leave, and he's like, oh look, a jaywalker, and he like does like a double back handspring into like an arm lock on a guy that's like just standing in the middle of the road. Like everything he does is so elaborate and so out of nowhere.
He even has like a weird spidey sense in where his chest hair starts tingling when when he feels like trouble is a brewing. I thought it was a weird nipple thing at first, but it's not. It was his chest hair, which I really enjoyed. What else? I liked the fact that near the end where he's trying to like come to terms with his dad, because his dad and him kind of have a falling out because his dad wants him to really like buckle down and like do the family business of selling bait. And
his dad looks like a mound of flesh with two caterpillars on it.
And anytime they actually did show his eyes, I found it more upsetting.
I know. Like he would like legit. It looked like he had to focus to reveal his eyes, or he was like.
But then they are trying to like find a. He reaches out to his dad to help him, and his dad finally does at the end. And the whole time he's trying to like
fucks it up.
Yeah, but he's like, I felt like a real struggle, because like even at my job, like I work with a few older people, and they have to work with computers, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm the one to try to tell them how to use a computer.
Oh, yeah.
And I felt Flint Lockwood's struggle on trying to tell his dad how to put a file in an email. And I'm just like, oh my god, this is too true
like
for me.
He's telling him to drag it across the screen, and he puts the mouse on the screen.
Like, no, just drag it across the desktop, and he like just clears the actual desk of like what's going on. I'm like, oh my god, the struggle is real.
And then he finally sends it, and you're like, oh my god, he did it, but then he sent him the wrong thing. He still fucked it up.
Oh my god, I really enjoyed that part just because it's too true to life. What did you think about the weird news anchor that was like actually like the anchor for Anna Faris's character?
Yeah, the fucking it was like the weather news or something, and like their what was it, like their catchphrase was news, whether you want it or not, or something like that. But the fucking, he's like, I loved it because he was played up as such a plot device, where it's like, because it's like a kid's movie, or it didn't even have to be a kid's movie, it was just to be like a parody, where it's like, he's just like fucking just like commenting on like what's been said, or like trying to like re-emphasize things that have happened, but he does it in like a news way, where he's like, once like Sam Sparks like starts wearing glasses and her hair in a ponytail again, like that's all he focuses on.
Yeah,
because that's like all she focused on, where it's like, wow, why don't you take those glasses off, you nerd? Like, meanwhile there's like this crazy fucking weather happening in the background.
My note was like, the news anchor would not fare very well in a Me Too world, because all he could talk about once she started wearing glasses and putting in a ponytail on how prettier she would look if she didn't do that. And I'm like, oh my god, this is troublesome now.
But it's like a total Lord and Miller thing, where it's like, instead of like making it where it's like an actual like reporter, he's just like, let's just have him repeat all of the plot devices we have going on right now and make him a big dick by just overemphasizing that she looks like a nerd now.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, why don't you let your hair down, you nerd? You work for a news station.
We're live. Also, like, I know this is like a thing that's overlooked in the, and maybe the science doesn't work the same because it's like weird genetically altered food.
Yeah.
But all I could think of is like, that island has to stink.
Oh, yeah.
That's
no
like
shit.
all I could think about when all this shit is raining down. I'm like, where does all this go?
Yeah.
Especially when it rains or snows ice cream.
Yeah.
Like, all
There's
that
so
dairy
much
in the
sugar.
sun.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that has to stink,
Yeah.
right?
I know, that's gotta be the worst melt, like snow melt ever.
I mean,
it's like,
those rat birds would have a field day. I
Yeah.
mean, the mayor has a field day every day, just like
oh my god, the mayor in this,
grossly fat.
voiced by Bruce Campbell, actually.
Yes, yeah.
Like, I remember like seeing the mayor in this. It was like he's the villain, and I wanted to hate him, but I saw him a lot like where it's like, man, I want you to get help. Like, he just struck me as someone where I'm like, I just want this man to get help.
Yeah.
He needs help.
Yeah.
Like, he's just constantly eating,
Yeah.
and he's getting fatter to where he's riding a scooter at the end, and he's just like, no, I want to get fatter.
Yeah.
Like, no,
Bigger is better.
Stop, Mayor.
Yeah. Oh my god. Like, even though like the physics in this don't make sense, and even at some points they like call
it's a
out
cartoon.
Yeah, I mean, like whatever, but like I like at some point there was one point in general that I tried to remember, but now I've completely forgotten. But they like talk about like why. Well, that doesn't make very much sense, and they like throw a lampshade on it in the movie too.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, oh yeah, okay. Everyone noticed that, so we're just gonna like throw a lampshade on it so everyone can just stop talking about it. But now I totally forgot what that moment was, making this completely irreverent and a complete waste of time to explain. What else about Cloudy with a Chance, JT? I think I've gone through all my notes.
Like a lot of the stuff they do with the food in terms of like the physics of it just was like it makes no sense 'cause it's a cartoon, but it was fun. Like, even like when when Flint takes Sam to the Jello temple place. It's just a fun scene.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even like it definitely strikes me as like he's kind of weird. Like, I even like they even make it where like they zoom in on her face and she like looks at the exit sign where it's like, this is a bit much.
This is fucked up.
Yeah, it's like, I even made statues with your face on it. Where you're like, oh god. like they still kind of they still really hammer it home that Flint's kind of off his rocker a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, even when he's like supposed to be like the love interest, it's just like, but I did all this I did this for you. I spent all night gathering this Jello just for you. Where it's like, oh god.
Oh my god. I also have a hair doll made of your hair for you and me.
Made of Jello. I love even like going back to when I talked about Lego Movie, their Lord and Miller's list comedy.
Yeah.
When like he's going through all the things made of Jello, one of the things is Jello. Everything's made of Jello. This staircase, this bed, Jello. Like, he went out of his way to make a Jello mold of Jello to make of Jello.
All in all, I think it's a great outing for kids.
Yeah.
I just juxtaposed to another Lord Miller movie like we reviewed on Thursday, the Lego Movie.
Yeah.
You could see like a lot of like where they started here as like a joint effort and where they got to in like the Lego Movie and then like stuff that they done after. But I think it's a pretty strong start.
Yeah. I think especially in terms of like, yeah, with this being a starting point, you can see where they used things they did in this movie and elaborated on them more in the Lego movie to make them work even better.
Yes. Yeah, they like perfected what they were going for.
Yeah.
I'm trying to look up Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs 2. It's got lower scores for sure.
Yeah.
Not
Did Lord Miller direct that one?
I'm trying to look that up. Come on, load IMDb. No, they did not direct that.
Uh-oh.
Cody Cameron and Chris Pern directed that. And Lord Miller weren't the writers of it either.
Uh-oh.
They wrote the original one. Erica Rivonia and John Francis Daly and others.
Uh-oh. That's probably where they got it.
Yeah.
We have 8 writers for this one movie.
But they have quite a more of a stacked cast for the second part. Like,
really?
Bill Hader and Anna Faris are back.
Yeah.
Will Forte plays a
shit.
part. NPH, Neil Patrick Harris is in it.
Jesus.
James Caan, Andy Samberg, Benjamin Bratt, Terry Crews.
Well, James Caan and Andy Samberg were in the first one. James Caan is the dad. And Andy Samberg is baby Brent.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. I guess I didn't know James Caan was the dad. Okay.
Yeah.
Kristen Schaal. And, well, then others. It gets... Al Roker. He's in the second one.
Of course.
And then others are in there. But, yeah, it's not touting the same kind of scores as the first one did.
Yeah.
But speaking of scores, JT, what would you score Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs?
For especially being a kid's film, it's very creative, especially with all the food and stuff that it does. I think Flint Lockwood is likable enough that I can follow him through and like actually sympathize with him. I think there are scenes where it kind of slows down more than the Lego movie.
Yeah.
So I'll give it like a B plus, like maybe a very middle of the road B plus.
Okay. I did end up liking this movie. I don't think I liked it as much as I remembered liking it before, though. Maybe it's because like when it came out at the time, there wasn't a ton of like great animation coming out at the time, but maybe I'm just like pulling that out of my ass. I'm not sure. But I think I'm gonna give it like a B minus.
Okay.
I liked it, but I don't think this would be one that I would like just throw in a lot.
Yeah.
It did come in at like a crisp 90 minutes.
Yeah.
So like it is a breeze to watch.
Yeah.
But if you're all waiting for Macy to the Max's reaction to this, it's a thumbs up.
Really? She was into it?
She was into it from the beginning. There was a point near like maybe half an hour in where she kind of wandered off and kind of did something else.
Okay.
But came back and watched the rest of it.
Yeah. And
didn't ask to watch anything else.
Yeah, it's pretty action-packed near the end there, especially when the spaghetti tornado hits.
Mm-hmm. It was weird that like the part that she started to like maybe lose interest in was right as like the shit starts going down, where the shit gets launched into the sky.
Yeah,
that's kind of where she like started meandering around. But like she came back and was like she like sat on my lap and watched most of the movie.
There you
and
go.
Didn't ask to watch Elmo or Baby or Trolls or anything else. She just like watched the movie.
Well, there you go.
So I'm gonna take that as a win.
There you go.
For the column.
Operation No Baby is already garnering minor success.
Yes. So, there you have it. Our first mission.
Yeah.
I go to say it's accomplished.
Mission accomplished. Put it on the big destroyer. Get George Bush to say a speech.
Yeah. We did it. We fucking did it, man.
Fucking did it.
Well, that was a pretty great entry there into Operation No Baby. But
how are we going to hammer this home, Troy? How are we going to really solidify that Boss Baby is out of her mind completely?
Well, I'll tell you what. Coming up Monday is a pick of mine that I was having a hard time kind of coming up with something because I'm the one that may have to watch these a lot.
Yeah.
But I was searching through Hulu.
Yeah.
And Space Jam is streaming on Hulu right now. So, I loved this as a kid.
Oh my god.
And it does have animation in it, which I think will draw the attention of Macy. And from what I remember,
oh my god,
I think it may be funny, and I think it may make a good episode.
This is going to be a fun review.
So Space Jam is coming up next Monday.
I am hell-bent on finding out how Macy receives this.
I'm hell-bent on what I'm going to think of it on a rewatch. Space Jam on Hulu. As soon as I saw it, I was like, holy shit.
I'm excited.
It was between that or Ants, which I also would think another great conversation, but I think it's probably boring as fuck movie. But I think it would make a funny show.
You're the better pick.
Thank you.
Space Jam
Thank you.
I just want to see Michael Jordan's fucked acting.
Yes. I think it might be a bit of a struggle near the beginning of Space Jam to get Macy excited about it.
Yeah.
But once the cartoons come into play, I think
she might get into it.
Get into it.
Especially give her that little bit of foyer into Looney Tunes.
Yeah.
Looney Tunes is some fun stuff.
It really is. So anyway, look out for that on next Monday.
Space Jam. As part of our family-friendly February with our mini-series of Operation No Baby.
Yes. Check that out on Hulu unless you own it. Or you probably could find it on YouTube for all I know.
Yeah.
But before that, we will be going into
Lego
Movie 2.
Cool in the second part.
So check out that review.
Yeah.
But if people want to check us out just on the internet, well, where can they do that, JT?
They can find me at BuckyFront on Twitter, also BuckyFront on Instagram, and him at BuckyFront on Snapchat. Troy.
Find me at Troy to the Max on Twitter. Find us both at Review Pod on Twitter. We're on a multitude of platforms to listen to us. All your podcatchers should catch us. But if you're interested, we are at ReviewPod at podbean.com. We're on Stitcher, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Player FM, YouTube, if you're even interested in that. And if you listen to us on Apple Podcasts, rate and review us there. Rate and review us there. Sorry, it's getting late. And if you like the show, that helps other people find the show. And you can write into the show at our Gmail at reviewreviewpod@gmail.com. Yes, indeedy. So we already revved up what we got coming down the pipeline. So join us for our family-friendly February.
Yes.
But until next episode, JT, I have been Detroit to the Max Extreme.
I am JT3K.
And we are off.